Radhe Radhe. Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vino Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudeva Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Radha Ramana Ju Ki Jai. It's working. Right here. Yeah, I'm just turning this on. Giriraj Mahārāja Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. One thing I just realized, because this little mic is here, they might not be able to hear you the same if I ask you to come and speak.
Yeah, because I'll be closer to the...
But that mic's not engaged now. This one is. Look at that. The nature of this material world.
You fix one problem and another starts.
If one cannot hear Sudevi in her own place,
you are very fortunate indeed.
That's a great misfortune. So, we will begin with Mangalacharan. Can you hear me okay? Differently, maybe? One devotee recommended that I get a small mic that plugs into the phone so we don't have to be so loud with the speaker here. So let me know if you can hear okay. Radhe Radhe Dandavat Pranam. So we will start with Mangalacharan. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam. It's page 1 of this book, Shri Gaudiya Giti Kucha. The auspicious invocation. Very well. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tang Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagano Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Namine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Odarya Madhurya Gunaishcha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Nārayaṇam Tvang Shirashan Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanimcha Shri Krishna Padavridataika Hridni Chaitanya Leelamrita Sarasaram Nārayaṇam Tvang Satatam Prapadye Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedānta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Gaurapreshthaya Bhutale Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Iti Namine Atimadya Charitrayo Swashritanancha Paline Jiva Dukhe Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaur Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padam Bhujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gauravirbhava Bhume Swam Nirdeshtha Sajanapriya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jaganathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Pango Mama Mandam Matergati Matsarvasva Padamboja Radha Madanamohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Śrīmad Ratnagara Sinhasanastho Shri Shri Radha Śrīla Govindadevo Preshthānibhi Sevyamano Smarami Śrīmadra Sarasarambhi Vaṅśhivata Tatastitaha Karshan Venu Svanargopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Vrindaye Tulasi Devyaye Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa रूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दम्बुदिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं हरेर्नाम हरेर्नामेव केवलं कलो नास्त्येव गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Dandavat pranam all Vaishnavas. So before we begin, I would like to request that you keep Anupam Prabhu in South Africa in your prayers. There was some kind of mix-up. Anyway, he's in a very difficult situation, and so if we could keep him in our prayers, just pray that whatever the outcome, that Srila Gurudev always takes him, holds him very close, and gives him the opportunity to always progress in bhakti. It would be very beneficial for him in any case, but he is going through some difficulty at the moment. Jai Jai Shri Guru Prema Kalpataru, page 29 in our songbook. And Jiva Pavana Prabhu very kindly, mercifully posts the bhajans in the comment section of the thread. And Lavangalata Didi, Dandavat Pranam, I see she just came on. She posts the page number, so it's page 29. Jai Jai Shri Guru Prema Kalpataru. Hare Krishna. Jayo Jayo Shri Guru Prema Kalpataru. Jaya Jaya Shri Guru Prema Kalpataru. Adbhuta Jako Parokash. Adbhuta jaya jaya Śrī Guru prema kalpataru adbhuto jako parakash adbhuto jako parakash adbhuto jako parakash adbhuto jako parakash Gurudeva Jaya 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 Prabhupada 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 Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara Śrīla Gurudeva ki jai Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai Rupāna Guru Varga ki jai Śrī Guru Parampara ki jai I want to try singing this one. Page 42. Gabe Mui Vaishnava Chinibo Hari Hari. Kabe mui Vaishnava Chinibo Hari Hari Kabe mui Vaishnava Chinibo Hari Hari Kabe mui Vaishnava Kabe mui Vaishnava Chinibo পাতিব হৃদয়ে ধরি ও বৈষ্ণব চরণ কল্যাণের খনি পাতিব হৃদয়ে ধরি ও কবে মুই বৈষ্ণব চিনিব হরি হরি কবে মুই বৈষ্ণব চিনিব হরি হরি বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর অপ্রাকৃত সদা নির্দোষয়ানন্দময় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর অপ্রাকৃত সদা নির্দোষয়ানন্দময় কৃষ্ণ নামে প্রীত জরে উদাসীন কৃষ্ণ নামে প্রীত জরে উদাসীন জীবেতে দয়াদ্র জীবেতে দয়াদ্র অভিমানহীন ভজনে প্রবীণ বিষয়েতে অনাসক্ত অভিমানহীন ভজনে প্রবীণ অনাসক্ত অন্তরে বাহিরে নিষ্কপট সদা অন্তরে বাহিরে নিষ্কপট সদা নিত্য লীলায় অনুরক্ত নিত্য লীলা অনুরক্ত কনিষ্ঠ মধ্যম উত্তম প্রভেদে বৈষ্ণব ত্রিবিধ গানী কনিষ্ঠ মধ্যম উত্তম প্রভেদে বৈষ্ণব ত্রিবিধ গানী কনিষ্ঠে আদর মধ্যমে প্রণতি কনিষ্ঠে আদর মধ্যমে প্রণতি উত্তমে শুশ্রূষা শুনি উত্তমে শুশ্রূষা শুনি যেন বৈষ্ণব চিনিয়া লইয়া আদর করিব যাবে যে যেন বৈষ্ণব চিনিয়া লইয়া আদর করিব যাবে বৈষ্ণবের কৃপা যাহে সর্বসিদ্ধি বৈষ্ণবের কৃপা যাহে সর্বসিদ্ধি অবশ্য পাইব তবে অবশ্য পাইব তবে বৈষ্ণব চরিত্র সর্বদ পবিত্র যেই নিন্দে হংস করি বৈষ্ণব চরিত্র সর্বদ পবিত্র যেই নিন্দে হিংসা করি ভক্তি বিনোদ न संभासे तारे भक्ति विनोद न संभासे तारे ताके सदा मौन धोरी ताके सदा मौन धोरी कबे मुई वैष्णव চিনিব হরি হরি কবে মুই Vaishnava Chinivo Hari Hari Jaya Vaishnava Thakur 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 Prabhu Kripa Karo Mori Doya Karo 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 Vaishnava Thakur ki jai. Please forgive me for not knowing how to sing that one properly. Gurudev said to try is bhakti, but I don't know if that's bhakti, but anyhow I made the endeavor. I will learn it more. I want to actually read this translation since we don't sing this one very often. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written, O Hari, when will I recognize who is a Vaishnava? The lotus feet of the Vaishnava are a mine of all auspiciousness. I will become maddened by holding them within my heart. The worshipful Vaishnava is always transcendental, without faults, and full of bliss. He has deep affection for Krishna's name. He is indifferent to mundane affairs, and he melts with compassion for the living beings. The Vaishnava is free from false ego, expert in bhajan, and detached from sense objects. He is free from duplicity, internally and externally, and he is filled with loving attachment to the Lord's eternal pastimes. There are three types of Vaishnavas, Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttam, and they are distinguished by their characteristics. I have heard from authorities that one should give affection to the Kanishta Vaishnava, offer respectful obeisance to the Madhyam Vaishnava, and fully serve the Uttama Vaishnava. When I recognize Vaishnavas according to their qualifications, and thus duly honor them, I shall certainly receive their mercy, which is the source of all success. Bhaktivinoda never speaks to those who, out of envy, criticize the ever-pure character of Vaishnavas. Instead, he always remains silent. So in this prayer, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is referencing Srila Rupa Goswami's 5th verse of Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta dikshashijet pranatibhish chabajantamisham shushrusaya bhajanabhigyamananya manya nindadi shunyam hridam ipsita sangalabdhyat. He's also referencing the next verse, or the verse before that. No, the next verse. Drishtaisva bhava janitair vapushashta doshaya. He's definitely qualifying what kind of Vaishnava. He's saying we should distinguish between the different levels of Vaishnavas. And our Srila Gurudev has explained that if we don't make a distinguishment between Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttam, then we can actually very easily make offense, aparad, to the true Mahabhagavat, the high-class devotee, by comparing them to that person who's just beginning. Oh, they're all Vaishnavas, so I will give the same honor to the Kanishta that I am to the Uttam. In other words, sometimes Gurudev would say that we'll give the same glorification to the third-class bogus person that we would to the Uttam Bhakta. This is aparad to the Uttam Bhakta. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, when I recognize them according to their qualifications. And this was something that our Srila Gurudev really wanted us to understand. I specifically remember when he would speak, and when he would have Pujapad Bhaktivedānta Madhav Mahārāja speak, they would talk about giving proper respect to the Vaishnavas according to their levels, like this. And before, I never had this idea or this conception. This was not something that I had any understanding of really before I met Srila Gurudev and his associates. But it became very clear that one should give proper honor according to one's qualification. One should give proper honor according to one's qualification. So for Kanishta Vaishnavas, Krishneti Yasya Giritam Manasadriyeta. Within one's mind, they should offer respects. That they are chanting the name of Krishna, okay. But what is the nature of Kanishta? They don't actually recognize Vaishnavas properly. And they have faith in their own Guru, faith in the worship of Thakurji, but they don't even have respect for others the same way. And they don't recognize other Vaishnavas outside of their own grouping, so to speak. So the tendency to make offenses is there, prominent. My Vaishnava, my temple, my deities, no one else. This kind of thing. Kanishta. Madhyam, their qualifications are prema, maitri, kripa, and upeksha. So there's actually a duty of the Madhyam Vaishnava. One, they have prem, love for the Lord, and for the pure devotees, they have affection, friendship with those who are like-minded, maitri. Kripa, they give mercy to those who are less fortunate, you can say, or who need help. That would be the Kanishtas. And then upeksha, they actually neglect those who are offensive, who, like Bhaktivedānta Thakur says in the very last bit, for those who, out of envy, criticize the ever-pure character of the Vaishnavas, I will remain silent. So this is called neglect, upeksha. And this is also necessary. Sometimes we have this idea that, no, they're devotees, so we should associate. But if the devotee, the person who you are looking at as a devotee, is always criticizing other Vaishnavas, especially pure Vaishnavas, then we can understand they're chanting Hare Krishna, but they're manifesting the symptoms of Kanishta. Or maybe more than that. If they continue to do so, we can try to help. We, means all of us, can somehow try to help. Especially the Madhyam Vaishnavas can try to help. But if they don't want that, if they won't accept it, and they continue with their envious, criticizing nature, then upeksha. Neglect is there, and this is part of the duty of the Madhyam Vaishnava. Besides that, the Madhyam or middle class Vaishnava has a requirement. Because they acknowledge their own inadequacy, they still have not awakened their eternal relationship with the Lord. And they understand that the only means of doing that is by associating with the Uttama Vaishnavas. So the Madhyam Vaishnava himself or herself will endeavor to associate with, to serve, and to hear the Harikatha from the Uttama Vaishnava, the pure devotee, the highest class devotee, who has no envy in their heart whatsoever, and who's completely absorbed in remembering and serving the transcendental pastimes of Krishna 24 hours a day. So the Madhyam Vaishnava will submit and surrender himself to that Uttama Vaishnava, and will also encourage his own followers, those whom he is giving shelter to also hear from such a personality and serve such a personality. So the duty of the Madhyam Vaishnava is to somehow bring their followers to the association of the Uttama Vaishnava. This is also a qualification of Madhyam. And according to Shastra, the Madhyam Vaishnava on the higher levels, lower, middle, and higher levels of Madhyam. So on the higher level, this would be the function of Guru. Shri Guru takes the role of a Madhyam Adhikari Vaishnava in order to discriminate for the disciples' benefit. Otherwise, who is situated in that Uttam platform cannot discriminate, because they see that everything is perfectly going on by the will of the Lord. So why should I make any adjustment? It's all perfect. Well, we need adjustment. We need help. If everything is perfect with what I'm doing, then how can I move forward? So Krishna very mercifully and kindly places the ability or the capacity, Bhakti Devi herself, within the hands of the qualified Madhyama Vaishnava. And that Madhyam Vaishnava will discriminate for our benefit. Even like you see how Krishna was discriminating for Arjuna's benefit. How has this weakness come upon you? Well, for one who has known honor, dishonor is worse than death. You should do your duty. Don't be weak. It's better to do your own duty, even if imperfectly, than to do someone else's duty perfectly. So Krishna was showing discrimination as the guru or instructor of Arjuna. And our Gurudevs, our Guru Varga, do the same for us. They manifest this discrimination for our benefit. In a sense, you can say, because we understand that they are transcendental and descending from Goloka Vrindavan, already perfect, so they're beyond Uttam. They are eternal associates of the Lord. But for our benefit, they are descending out of sweet mercy and taking the role of Madhyam Adhikari. It's like a PhD professor teaching a high school class. They can teach masters and masters of PhDs and like that, doctors of any science or anything. And they'll go into a high school or junior high school class and teach the children accordingly. Of course their qualification is beyond that. They can teach other doctors, but yet they're taking that role for our benefit. So we should not see that they are in that category, but anyhow they are taking that role for our benefit. Then we can respect them accordingly and appropriately. So Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur is really giving the qualifications for the particular Vaishnava that he is praying to. They are always transcendental, without faults, full of bliss. They have deep affection for Krishna's name, indifferent to mundane affairs, melt with compassion for the living entities. So he's primarily giving the qualifications of the higher level Madhyama Vaishnavas. Free from false ego, expert in bhajan. That does not mean singing. It means all of the aspects of bhakti. Every aspect. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, serving the Lord, worshipping and doing all of the different aspects of bhakti. Detached from sense objects. Free from duplicity. Internally and externally. That's a tough one. Right? Most of us can be free from duplicity, at least externally, but internally, most of us, if we look inside, we'll be like, oh my God. Outside, we can put on a show. Inside, we might know. And who knows more than us? Shri Guru. We know this life. Guru can see millions of lifetimes. They know. And what we know a little bit of our duplicitous hypocrisy, hypocritical nature. They can see it very well, so they know we need help. And the Vaishnava is filled with loving attachment to the Lord's eternal pastimes. So this is important for us to understand. What are the qualities of a Vaishnava? There's general Vaishnavas. You can say, oh yeah, he's my friend, he's a Vaishnava. Look, he's wearing tilak, he's chanting the holy names. And then at the end of the day, let's go hang out, play a card game, watch a movie together, and, do whatever nonsense we like to do. And then we come together sometimes and do kirtan. Kirtan in the day, nonsense in the night. Vaishnava association is not like that. Vaishnava association means if we're going to associate, we should always remind each other about Guru, Gauranga, Radha and Krishna. And if we have these nonsensical tendencies, we should not share them with others who are endeavoring to move forward on the path of bhakti. In essence, drag them into our maya. Rather, we should try to maybe tap into that aspect of them that might help us to come away from that maya. So sadhu sangha can sometimes be very generic. Oh, sadhu sangha, we're going to hang out with the devotees. Well, they're devotees, so we're going to have a vegetarian barbecue and all watch a movie together, but we're hanging out with devotees. It means hanging out with the devotee inside. not doing the nonsensical activities and sharing that with each other. That is violence to the jiva. Those activities are of Vaishnava or against Vaishnavism. They are actually asat sangha. So we should associate with the Vaishnava inside anyone. That tendency to want to love and serve Krishna and encourage each other in such a way. Sure, we have our misgivings. We have so many anarthas, that's why we're here. Let's not share them and encourage others to also have those same anarthas. We should help each other. And then always endeavor to associate with Vaishnavas who are, Gurudev would say, who are superior to us in their bhajan, in their practice, in their chanting, in their depth of absorption in Krishna. Always endeavor to associate with those who are superior. And of course, if possible, the topmost, highest class Vaishnava. If we somehow can attain their mercy, their darshan, their service, or even a particle of dust from their lotus feet, and really embrace that into our heart and into our life, then our life will be successful. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. Thank you, Jiva Pavana, for posting Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. He always very succinctly explains all of these issues, these points, in such a way that it doesn't leave much room. He doesn't leave any wiggle room. He's like clear and cutting. So one who is completely 100% surrendered unto the lotus feet of such a guru, who is fortunate enough and has gotten such a guru, he will get the mercy. He is really fortunate soul. But if that disciple develops duplicity and is superficial, not serious in the heart, only showing outwardly, yes, yes, Gurudev, shower your mercy on me, only outwardly showing and speaking from his lips, but inside there's a different mood. There's duplicity. He deserves cheating, not mercy. And therefore, Sadhu Guru has two things, kripa and manchana, mercy and cheating. So what you deserve will come to you. And Krishna knows the heart. If really in your heart you are purified, if you're sincere or not. If duplicity is there, then your heart is contaminated. All of your activities are only for show, only outward, and based on duplicity. Then you deserve cheating. You cannot get the mercy. So that's quite a heavy concept. Of course, we've seen with our Gurudev, he would say, don't ask me for this poison, I cannot give it to you. But sometimes devotees would approach Gurudev, and this was quite common. Gurudev, I was thinking, I should get involved in this business to maintain myself, and also I can give some donations from time to time. So what do you think? Well, okay, as you're doing it, it's okay, it's fine. Well, I was also thinking maybe I'll do this business over here, business B, A and B. And, well, this one might make more money, but then it might also keep me more occupied in the... Well, you can do either or as you like, Gurudev would say. That approach is giving Gurudev the choice of my one kind of material attachment or my other kind of material attachment. And asking Gurudev, you choose between which one I should go for. So Gurudev would say, either one is okay. But it is very rare that anyone will go to Gurudev and say, Gurudev, I am yours. What you ordered me to do, that is what I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. I will accept your instruction. It's very rare. Even if someone says it, inside maybe they're thinking, really, I don't really mean it. I don't really want that. Like that devotee I told you about in South Africa, who was begging Gurudev, please give me a direct order, please. Again and again and again. Please tell me what you want me to do. What do you want me to do? Gurudev kept saying, as you're doing, it's okay, because he could understand the heart of this devotee. As you're doing, it is okay, it is okay. And the devotee kept pressuring. Finally, Gurudev said, you want me to give you a direct order? You want to know what I want? Devotee said, yes, please. Gurudev said, I want you to be like Raghunath Das Goswami. I want you to give up all material attachments and constantly, 24 hours a day, absorb your mind in chanting and remembering the pastimes of Krishna. To be completely akinchana niskita. The devotee started shaking like this. Really? And Gurudev just said, as you're doing, it is okay. So we have this external voice also. And we think, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. What is the depth of our sincerity? Srila Prabhupada said that the key is our sincerity. The key to development in bhakti is our sincerity. So if we want to make progress, then somehow we need to find that. And really that can only be found there's sukriti from previous lifetimes and impressions from previous lifetimes, but also by developing attachment to the senior or the pure Vaishnavas. How does one develop attachment to them? Through service. By serving them, affection develops and then attachment develops over time. By that relationship, you are giving something. Dadati, pratigunati, guhyamakyati, prichati, bhunkte, bhojayate chaiva, shadvidham, eva, and so forth. These symptoms of affection, what develops that relationship? From that attachment, then we will want to be like them. Because we're definitely in the position of the inferior, praying to and serving the superior. They don't need anything from us, but we need everything from them. So sincerity can come by serving the Vaishnava. And by serving that Vaishnava, because attachment will come. By that, mercy will come from them, and by that, sincerity will manifest in our heart. It's not something that we can just muster up. Sometimes by the mercy of Krishna and Gurudev or anything happening in our lives, we feel a moment of sincerity. If that feeling comes, my own personal experience is that it's not always coming. So when it does come, milk it. Really, just whatever is there, take full advantage of that sincerity and run with it as far and fast as we can. Because whatever progress one makes on the path, Krishna says, even a little bit of progress, that can never be removed and it can save one from the greatest danger. So when that feeling of sincerity comes, run with it as hard as you can. Give as much energy to that as far as one can. And then when you hit that wall again, then crying and praying and trying again. So now we're going to call out for the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami Pad. Dandava Pranamo Vaishnavas. It's a little bit of a interesting subject, this kripa and banchana, the mercy of Gurudev and the banchana, the cheating. But there is an aspect. See, Paramatma, inside the heart, he says, I direct the wanderings of the living entities according to their desires. So this is kind of a cheating. Because our desires are manifest in so many infinite ways in the material world, Paramatma, Guru in the heart, is directing us. You can go here, go there, do this, do that, as you like, okay? But I'm still with you, I'm still watching you, but I'm acting as a silent witness. Just, you want to put your faith here? Okay, I will make it strong. You want to go after that thing? Okay, I will direct you accordingly so that you can have that. Guru is more of an active form of Paramatma, not just passive. So Guru comes. And I've seen it. And some of you may have experienced it. I have also experienced it. Guru will cheat us, but he will also cheat us in such a way that we will realize one day the lesson that was in that. Even in the apparent cheating of Guru, there's still so much mercy. Sometimes it's necessary. Oh, you're approaching me with such a big ego. You want to take control. You want to do this. You want to control me. You want to criticize and manipulate everyone. Okay. He will say something like, oh, I will take everyone and everything from there, and you can be the monarch of nothing. And from that feeling of being, in essence, rejected by everyone, humility will develop. And then one will come crying back to the lotus feet of Sri Guru. That person who was attached to nonsense, and all of the Matvasis had shunned him. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada came to the temple. They wanted to do the inauguration, Thakurji installation. And he said, where is that one? And they said, oh, he fell down with someone and he has left the mat. Saraswati Thakur was very upset. He said, I won't do anything. We won't do anything unless we find him. So they went to find him. They knew that previously he was fixing watches or something like that. So they found him. He was a watch repairman. And they told him, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada is calling for you. He began weeping and he went with them back to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada and fell at his feet. He had learned his lesson and he felt so ashamed that he didn't know how he could come back. So through that, a very powerful lesson was done. It might have looked like some kind of cheating, but still mercy was there. And it came full circle. He learned his lesson. Sometimes it takes only a minute. I've seen Gurudev say, I reject them. I don't want to have anything to do with them. This mood is not real rejection, because Paramatma inside Chaitya Guru can never reject any disciple. Any soul cannot be rejected by Krishna. He cannot neglect even one jiva, Srila Gurudev has said. So what is that? What is that neglect or the external apparent rejection? It's called tough love. You want to be independent? You want to do whatever nonsense you want to do? You don't want to have anyone overseeing you? Okay, go. Do what you want. But you have at one point somehow or other decided to give something of yourself to Guru and Krishna. So from that point onward, Krishna won't really let you go. He will let you fulfill your material desires in such a way, Śrīmad Bhagavatam says, that you will never want them again. Because he becomes attached to the idea that you became attached to him, attracted to him. So he will let you fulfill them. But then the result of that will come, and then you will come crying back to Guru and Krishna. So this is their mercy. Now we will call out for the mercy of Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī, Yang Kali Rupa Sharira Nadharata. Yang Kali Rupa 47. Yang Kali Rupa Sharira Nadharata. 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 Tan Braja Prema Mahānidhi Kutharita. nadharato yang kalirupa sharira nadharato nirakira hangsano anavidhayano nirakira hangsano panavidhayano ona pritakari payato ona pritakari payato o sabatyaji bhaji vrindavana o sabatyaji bhaji vrindavana o sabagandha virachita o sabagandha virachita yang kalirupa sharira nadharato yang kalirupa sharira nadharato jab pituvano phulo phalatana vidho jab pituvano phulo phalatana vidho manoraji arovinda manoraji arovinda so madhukar vinu pan kon jano to so madhukar vinu pan kon jano to vidyamano kari bandha vidyamano kari bandha yang kalirupa sharira nadharato yang kalirupa sharira nadharato ko janoto mathura vrindavano ko janoto mathura vrindavano ko janoto rajanito ko janoto rajanito ko janoto radha madhavarati ko janoto radha madhavarati ko janoto soi pritam ko janoto soi pritam yang kalirupa sharira nadharato yang kalirupa sharira nadharato jakar charana prasade sakala jano jakar charana prasade sakala jano gai govai sukho pavato gai govai sukho pavato charana kamale sharunagato madho janana kamale sharunagato madho tabo mahima uralagato tabo mahima uralagato yang kalirupa kalirupa shariro nadharata tan braja prema mahanidhi putarika 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 konakapata mugharata konakapata mugharata yam kalirupa shariro nadharata yam kalirupa shariro nadharata rupa goswami prabhu rupa goswami rupa goswami prabhu rupa goswami rupa goswami rupa goswami rupa goswami rupa goswami rupa goswami prabhu 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 rupa goswami Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai. Sorry. Boro Sukir Kabor Gai, glorifying Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Page 164. Guru Shukir Kaburga Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Boro Shukir Kabur Gai Boro Shukir Kabur Gai Boro Shukir Kabur Gai Boro Shukir Kabur Gai Surabhi Kunjete Namer Haat Kuleche Kodonitai Surabhi Kunjete Namer Haat তুলেছে কদনিতায় মোজার কথা তাই বড় মোজার কথা তাই বড় মোজার কথা তাই বড় মোজার কথা তাই श्रद्धा मूल्ये शुद्धा नाम से हाथ देते बिकाय श्रद्धा मूल्ये शुद्धा नाम से हाथ देते बिकाय যত ভক্ত বৃন্দাবসী যত ভক্ত বৃন্দাবসী অধিকারী দেখে নাম বেছে দারো কশি অধিকারী দেখে নাম বেছে দারো কশি যদি নাম কিনবে ভাই যদি নাম কিনবে ভাই যদি নাম কিনবে ভাই নাম কিনবে ভাই আমার সঙ্গে চলো মহাজনের কাছে যায় আমার সঙ্গে চলো মহাজনের কাছে যায় তুমি তুমি কিনবে কৃষ্ণ নাম তুমি কিনবে কৃষ্ণ নাম তুমি কিনবে কৃষ্ণ নাম দস্তুরি লইব আমি পূর্ণ হবে কাম দস্তুরি লইব আমি পূর্ণ হবে কাম বড় দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ বড় দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ শ্রদ্ধা মাত্র লয়ে দেন পরম আনন্দ শ্রদ্ধা মাত্র লয়ে দেন পরম আনন্দ একবার দেখলে চকে জাল একবার দেখলে চকে জাল একবার দেখলে চকে জাল গৌর বলে নিতাই দেন সকল সম্বল গৌর বলে নিতাই দেন সকল সম্বল দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা ও দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা জাতি ধন বিদ্যা বলো না করে অপেক্ষা জাতি ধন বিদ্যা বলো না করে অপেক্ষা অমনি চারে মায়া জাল অমনি চারে মায়া জাল অমনি চারে মায়া জাল গৃহে থাকো বনে থাকো না থাকে জঞ্জাল গৃহে থাকো বনে থাকো না থাকে জঞ্জাল আর নাই কো কালির ভয় আর নাই কো কালির ভয় আর নাই কো কালির ভয় আছন্দালে দেন নাম নিতাই দয়াময় আছন্দালে দেন নাম নিতাই দয়াময় ভক্তি মিল ডাকি ভক্তি মিল ডাকি ভক্তি মিল ডাকি নিতাই চাঁদের চরণ বিনা আর নাহি আশ্রয় নিতাই চাঁদের চরণ বিনা আর নাহি আশ্রয় বড় সুখের খবর গায় বড় সুখের খবর গায় সুরভি কুঞ্জেতে নামের হাত তুলেছে কোদনিকায় সুরভি কুঞ্জেতে নামের হাত তুলেছে কোদনিকায় নিতাই 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 হে ও নিতাই 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 হে নিতাই 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 হে নিতাই 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 হে নিতাই 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 জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम पति पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय. Yes, Thakurji has a new shringar, new outfit on today. So if you wait patiently until the end, you will receive close-up darshan, and they will also have close-up darshan of you. Now we will call for the mercy of Śrī Sachinandan Gaura Hari. Emon Shachira Nandana Bine, page 70. 70. Śrī Sachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai. Emon Shachira Nandana Bine, Shachira Nandana Bine, Emon Shachira Nandana Bine, Shachira Nandana Bine, Emon Shachira Nandana Bine, Shachira Nandana Bine, Emon Shachira Nandana Bine, Shachira Nandana Bine. Prema bolina ati adbhuta Shruta hoito karo kane. Prema bolina ati adbhuta Shruta hoito karo kane. Shachira Nandana Bine, Shachira Nandana Bine, Shachira Nandana Bine, Shachira Nandana Bine. Shri Krishna Namero Swaguna Mahima Keba Janai To Yaro. Shri Krishna Namero Swaguna Mahima Keba Janai To Yaro. Vrindavi Pine Mahamadhurima, Vrindavi Pine Mahamadhurima, Pravesha hoito karo, Pravesha hoito karo. Emon Shachira Nandana Bine, Shachira Nandana Bine, Shachira Nandana Bine, Shachira Nandana Bine. Oke Bhajanayito Radhar Madhurya Rasa Jasha Chamatkaro. Ke Bhajanayito Radhar Madhurya Rasa Jasha Chamatkaro. Tarayanubhav Satviko Vikar, Tarayanubhav Satviko Vikar, Gochara Chiro Vakaro. গোচর ছিল কারো এমন সচির নন্দন বিনে সচির নন্দন বিনে এমন সচির নন্দন বিনে সচির নন্দন বিনে ব্রজে যে বিলাস রাস মহারাস প্রেম পরকীয় তত্ত্ব ব্রজে যে বিলাস রাস মহারাস প্রেম পরকীয় তত্ত্ব গোপীর মহিমা ব্যভিচারী সীমা গোপীর মহিমা ব্যভিচারী সীমা কারয় ভগতি ছিল এত কারয় ভগতি ছিল এত এমন সচির নন্দন বিনে সচির নন্দন বিনে সচির নন্দন বিনে সচির নন্দন বিনে ধন্য কলি ধন্য নিতাই চৈতন্য পরম করুণা করি ধন্য কলি ধন্য নিতাই চৈতন্য পরম করুণা করি বিধিয় গোচর যে প্রেম বিকার বিধিয় গোচর যে প্রেম বিকার প্রকাশে জগত ভোরে প্রকাশে জগত ভোরে এমন সচির নন্দন বিনে সচির নন্দন বিনে সচির নন্দন বিনে সচির নন্দন বিনে উত্তম অধম কিছু না বাছিল যাচিয়া দিলে কোন উত্তম অধম কিছু না বাছিল যাচিয়া দিলে কোহে প্রেমানন্দে এমন গৌরাঙ্গে কোহে প্রেমানন্দে এমন গৌরাঙ্গে অন্তরে ধরিয়া দোল অন্তরে ধরিয়া দোল এমন সচির নন্দন বিনে সচির নন্দন বিনে এমন সচির নন্দন বিনে সচির নন্দন বিনে এমন সচির নন্দন বিনে এমন সচির নন্দন বিনে Sachinandana Jai Gaura Hari Gaura He 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 Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. Now we will call out the glories of Krishna. Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam, Adharam, Madhuram, Badanam, Madhuram, page 293. Adharam madhuram badanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram adharam madhuram badanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram hridayam madhuram gamanam madhuram hridayam madhuram gamanam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram vacharam madhuram charitam madhuram vasanam madhuram vaditam madhuram vachanam madhuram charitam madhuram vasanam madhuram vaditam madhuram chalitam madhuram brahmitam madhuram chalitam madhuram brahmitam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram madhuradhipate akhilam madhuram venur madhuro renur madhuro panir madhuro pado madhuro venur madhuro madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram geetam madhuram pitam madhuram bhuktam madhuram suktam madhuram geetam madhuram pitam madhuram bhuktam madhuram suktam madhuram rupam madhuram tilakam madhuram rupam madhuram tilakam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram karanam madhuram taranam madhuram haranam madhuram ramanam madhuram karanam madhuram taranam madhuram haranam madhuram ramanam madhuram mamitam madhuram shamitam madhuram mamitam madhuram shamitam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram gunja madhura mala madhura jamuna madhura vichi madhura gunja madhura mala madhura yamuna madhura vichi madhura salilam madhuram kamalam madhuram salilam madhuram kamalam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram gopi madhura leela madhura yuktam madhuram bhuktam madhuram gopi madhura leela madhura yuktam madhuram bhuktam madhuram krishtam madhuram shrishtam madhuram krishtam madhuram shrishtam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram gopa madhura gavo madhura yashir madhura shrishtir madhura gopa madhura gavo madhura yashir madhura shrishtir madhura dalitam madhuram dalitam madhuram dalitam madhuram dalitam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram Hridayam madhuram gamanam madhuram. Hridayam madhuram gamanam madhuram. Madhuradhipaterakhiram madhuram. Madhuradhipaterakhiram madhuram. Madhuradhipaterakhiram madhuram. Madhuradhipaterakhiram madhuram. Krishna He, 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 Krishna He. Śrī Vinod Bihari Ji ki jai. Page 343. Was it 341? Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. 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 Gokula Karuni Mandala Mohite. Gokula Karuni Mandala Mohite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Radhe Jayo Jayo Madhamodarite Vrishabhanudadhi Navashashileke Vrishabhanudadhi Navashashileke Lalita Sakhi Guna Ramita Vishakhe Lalita Sakhi Guna Ramita Vishakhe Radhe Jayo Jayo Madhamodarite Radhe Jayo Jayo Madhamodarite Karuna Kurumani Karuna Bharite Karuna Kurumani Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite Radhe Jayo Jayo Madhamodarite Radhe Jayo Jayo Madhamodarite Gokulataruni Mandaramahite Gokulataruni Mandaramahite Radhe Jayo Jayo Madhamodarite Radhe Jayo Jayo Madhamodarite Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Śrī Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jai Śrī Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Radhe Jai Krishna Jai Radhe Jai Krishna Vrishabhananandani Shrimati Radharani ki Jai Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai Now we will sing Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. You all know the page. Today is quite a cold day here in Vrindavan, and they don't really know how to insulate the buildings, so a little fire. Śrī Yashoda Damodar ki jai. Radha Vino Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Radha Ramana Ju Ki Jai, Shri Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai, Giriraj Mahārāja Ki Jai, Shalagram Shila Ki Jai, Ladu Gopala Ki Jai, Chotta Ladu Gopala Ki Jai. Today Sudevi asked me, what do you think about Ladu Gopal? And I said, he looks like a marigold. He fits in right with all of the flowers. Sudevi, which tune are we doing of Damodarāṣṭakam? Sure? Okay. Now we're taking a vote. Which one did we do the day before yesterday? I did, okay. So, Namami Bhairavi. Okay. Namami Shwaram Shachiranandarupam Lasatkundanam Gokule Brajamanam Namami Shwaram Shachiranandarupam Lasatkundanam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyo Lukho Ladhavamanam Paramrishtamatyan Tato Drutya Gopya Namami Shwaram Shachiranandarupam Lasatkundanam Gokule Brajamanam Rudantamuhurnetram Yugmam Vrijantam Karam Hoja Jumeno Shatankaretram Muhushashakam Paho Trirekhankakantha Stitagraiva Damodaram Bhaktivedāntam Namami Shwaram Shachiranandarupam Lasatkundanam Gokule Brajamanam Iti Drikshvalilabhi Anandakunde Svaghosham Nimojantam Akyapayantam Tadiyeshitageshu Bhaktairjitatvam Guna Prematastam Shatavriti Vande Namami Shwaram Shachiranandarupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Param Deva Moksham Na Mokshavadim Va Na Chanyam Brineham Vareshadopiha Idam Devo Purnatho Gopalabalam Sadame Manosyami Ashtam Kimanyaya Namami Sharam Shachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Idam Te Mukham Bhojam Abhyaktanilaye Pritam Kuntalai Siddha Raktaischa Gopya Muhushchumbitam Bimbo Raktadharam Me Manasya Virastam Malam Lakshadahai Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namo Devo Damo Dharananta Vishnu Prasiddha Prabho Dukha Chalabhimognam Kripa Drishti Brishtyati Dinam Batanu Grihane Shamamagam Edyakshidresha Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Kuberatmajo Badha Murtyaiva Yadva Tvayamauchito Bhakti Bhajo Kritocha Tatha Premo Bhaktim Sakame Prayacha Namokshe Graho Me Śrī Dāmodare Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namaste Studamne Sturadiptidhamne Tvadiyodarayato Vishwasya Dhane Namo Radhikaya Tvadiyapriyaya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiyapriyaya Namo Nankalilayo Devaya Tubhyam Namo Nankalilayo Devaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaya Tvadiyapriyaya 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 Namo Nankalilayo Devaya Tubhyam Namo Nankalilayo Devaya Tubhyam Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Śrī Dāmodara ki jai, Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam ki jai. Hare. Yes, I see a post there. It says, oh, please ask Kishori Mohan. That's beyond my, I don't get paid, but it's beyond my grade, beyond my pay grade. I don't know those things off the top of my mind or my heart. So, again, I want to remind or request you all if you can pray for Anupam Prabhu. He's our god brother. He's quite young, considerably actually younger than us. And he is in a very critical condition in the hospital in South Africa with COVID. And I heard that he's now on a ventilator and he's in a very bad way. So we don't know if he's going to remain with us or if he's going to leave. But if you can pray for him, that Srila Gurudev, the Vaishnavas, Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna will be merciful to him. And no matter what course of action takes place, that they will always hold him, keep him close, and always that he will be inspired to run forward on the path of bhakti. Anupam Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Jai Gurudev 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 Gurudev, Jai Gurudev 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 Gurudev, Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol, Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Rupan Guru Varga Ki Jai, Shri Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vino Bihari Ji Ki Jai, Giriraj Mahārāja Ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Om. Hare Krishna. Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktāya Tadbhaktāya Namo Namaha Ajñānatimirāndhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedānta Swami Namine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim, yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashtotara Shati Shri Śrīmad Śrī Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And the same thousands of Dandava Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashtotara Shati Shri Śrīmad Śrī Bhaktivedānta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada, and to our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including all of you who are present with us today, I offer my Dandava Pranam.
Dandava Pranam, dear Vaishnavas. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Sham.
Radhe Sham.
I tried to point that way.
For what?
You said they couldn't hear me otherwise.
Oh, could you hear Sudevi when she said that? This is an important question. So today, we will continue with Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. That's here. Uh-oh. See, this is the nature of this material world. This transcendental treasure, delivered unto this world by our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja, is the manifestation of the heart of Śrī Satyavrata Muni over millions of years of progressive, subjective evolution of spiritual consciousness. As he is moving from Aishvarya Bhav, knowledge of the supremacy of the Lord, supreme majesty, approaching him with this mood, Namam Ishvaram, Sachidananda Rupam. I'm praying to the supreme controller whose form is made of eternality, all cognizance, bliss, knowledge, ananda, happiness, love, bliss. He's made of this. So he's starting there and progressing through the different stages. Coming to Vatsalya, Prem. And this is Idam Deva Purnata Gopala Balam. Then he's saying, oh, wait a second. I want to see more. How Mother Yashoda is kissing the beautiful, sweet, lotus-like face of this Bala Gopal, kissing his face again and again. And as he's progressing, he finally comes to Namo Radhikaye Tvadiya Priyaye. Oh, I'm offering my pranam to your most beloved Srimati Radhika. And so by that point, if you reflect back on the other verse, then this face which is being kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda turns into, I want to see that face which is being kissed again and again by Srimati Radhika. So Śrī Satyavrata Muni manifested this beautiful Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. Dam Udar means whose belly is bound with a rope. It is bound by the rope of Mother Yashoda's love. But when you apply the concept of Radha Damodar, then Damodar takes on a different meaning. Who is bound by the love of Srimati Radhika. So I'm going to ask you a question. Can Mother Yashoda unbind the rope which is bound by Radhika? Can she untie that love of Radhika? Yes or no? First person to get it gets a new Damodarasṭakam book. Very good. Can Srimati Radhika untie the rope of Mother Yashoda? Yes or no? what did I say? Can Srimati Radhika untie the rope of Mother Yashoda? Very, very good. Okay. So this is very important to understand. The depth of love and affection increases through the rasas. So Krishna is more controlled by Vatsalya Prem than by Sakya Prem. He's more controlled by Sakya Prem than by Dasya Prem. Means Prem, love and affection in the mood of a servant, doesn't control him as much as in the mood of friendship. But friendship love does not control him as much as parental love and affection. And the parental love and affection does not control him as much as Madhurya, paramour, love and affection. This means that Krishna is controlled according to the depth of love that one approaches him. So this is quite important to understand. That is why there is gradation in rasa. Although for the individuals, it is perfection if that is what their ultimate destination is. What their ultimate relationship is with Krishna, that is perfection. But when you step back and look at rasa in terms of tattva, rasa vichar, from a different vantage point, from the vision of someone who is actually grading it, then you will understand that there are so many different degrees within rasa and gradations. And even among the gopis, there are so many degrees and gradations. Chandravali and her party cannot understand why Srimati Radhika and her party put their hand out like this to Krishna and say, I don't want to see anything like him. I don't want to hear from him. And they walk the other way. And Krishna is running after them. How can you do this to Krishna? Chandravali and her friends are thinking. This is not love. You're making him feel anxious. Real love is when you do whatever you can to please the beloved. And Radhika and her party are looking at Chandravali's party. Why do you give him everything he wants? This doesn't increase his transcendental happiness. Anyone who gets something easily, you know that they don't appreciate it as much. But anything that is difficult to get, anything which makes one long for that thing, oh, that thing is appreciated. How can you not understand that? So they have these kind of transcendental rivalry moods, but their only mood is how to love and serve and please Krishna. So there are different levels of progression. Even amongst all of the gopis, only one can completely and fully control Krishna. And you all know the answer to this. Whoever gets this one right, my gosh, I don't even know. Who is the personality, the only personality who can completely control him in all ways? This answer should be so obvious. Only? Ha! Topmost, Srimati Radhika. Very good, very good. Srila Gurudev would be so happy and so pleased. So, this transcendental treasure also has within it the commentary of Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī in Sanskrit. Then the translation of that commentary by our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, with his own added bhav anuvad, transcendental moods and sentiments, his own vision. And then that is followed by the commentary of our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Goswami Maharaj, which is also so rasik and so bhavuk. This term is not new. This is mentioned in the 3rd verse of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Muhur aho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Those who are rasik and bhavuk will fully relish this transcendental fruit of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. So all of these acharyas are so full of ras and bhav. I forgot to mention that Ved Vyas has placed the Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam in Śrī Padma Purana. So we will pray in the dust of the lotus feet of these great personalities. In the words of Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam Gosvāmī, Vairāga Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnair Apayanan Mam Anubhipshamandam Kripambadir Yaparaduk Duki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami, begging in the dust of their lotus feet that may even a particle of their moods, which are present within these pages, manifest itself within our hearts. Now we are continuing with verse 5. Idam te mukham bhojam avyakta nilayar vritam kuntalai snigdha raktaischa gopya muhushchumbitam bimba raktadharam me manasya vidastam malam lakshalabhai namami sharam Sachidanandarupam lasat kundanam gokule brajamanam. Oh, we have a question. If our eternal position happens to be a flower, and we are currently part of Lord Chaitanya's movement, part of our Rupanuga line, do we still focus on the Madhurya aspect when we try to progress in our meditation? Good question. If your eternal position is a flower, then you will have to take shelter of that kind of Raganuga Bhakta whose eternal position is a flower. Technically, to attain or to awaken that mood. That is why it is said that one should take shelter of that person whose mood you long to attain. What is the nature of your Atma? And this can only be detected not by us, not because we like the idea or we think it sounds nice, but Sri Guru can detect the nature. I have never heard of any Guru telling any disciple, in the spiritual world you are a flower. But our Srila Prabhupada did say, do you think there's no background? There's no variety? We should understand that even the trees in Vrindavan, some of them also have madhuryata toward Krishna. And they are bending over and offering their best thing. They're weighted down with their fruits, offering their fruits and flowers and everything at the lotus feet of Krishna. So I don't know exactly what the bhav of a flower is, but there is nowhere in our scriptures, Rupanuga scriptures or Rupa Goswami's writings, which tells directly what the bhajan pranali is, means the path or the direction of bhajan that anyone would take to awaken the flower bhav. But for some time, as one is entertaining, you can say, and practicing, they might go along this way. But at some point in time, according to one's progression of bhakti, then it will be arranged by the Lord himself that any guru will meet with you and you will meet with that guru who will bring you to your perfection. Yes?
When he was speaking on Bhajan Rahasya, he one time said that when Krishna comes and picks any flower, they have this mood and they feel that, oh, he touched me. So you can just say that, and that Gurudev is capable of nourishing every ras.
So, Sudevi just said, I don't know if you could hear her. Could you hear Sudevi? That Srila Gurudev mentioned in Bhajan Rahasya, that when Krishna goes to pick any flowers, that they have this mood in their heart. They begin to tremble. Oh, Krishna touched me. They have this mood. They said, thank you for getting closer to the mic, Sudevi Dasi.
Okay, good.
It picks you up if I'm not talking. So, also, we understand that anyone in the, I want to say higher, the deeper rasas, can nourish any other rasa. So, Madhurya can nourish all of the other rasas up to their perfection. Vatsalya can nourish from Vatsalya, Sakya, Dasya, all of those, but it cannot nourish Madhurya to perfection. Sakya cannot nourish Vatsalya and Madhurya to their perfection, but it can nourish Sakya and Dasya, because it contains the maximum attainment of those other rasas within it. So Madhurya contains the maximum attainment of all other rasas within itself, and it also contains itself. So someone like Srila Gurudev is capable of nourishing any other rasa to its perfection. However, Srila Gurudev even told those devotees who came to him, he told them, you are Ram Bhaktas, you are not Krishna Bhaktas, particularly the one. And they were completely surprised because they were trying to follow the Gaudiya Vaishnava line, trying to worship Gaura-Nitai and Radha and Krishna and everything. But Srila Gurudev initiated her, Janaki. This is the name of Sita. He installed her Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. As he was speaking Krishna Katha during class, the sweet pastimes of Krishna, suddenly he would stop and then he would look right at her and start speaking Ram Katha. And she would be weeping and weeping and weeping. And then he would give her a few minutes, and then he would go back to speaking Krishna Katha. And he told, right in front of myself and Sudevi, it was her and her husband, myself and Sudevi. He told her to be careful. He said, Krishna is so sweet and charming, and soft, and he's a thief. If he sees any sweet thing or any sweetheart, immediately he will want to steal it. So be careful. If you ever see any murti, any deity or picture of Krishna, don't address him as Krishna. You should say, O Ram, you have appeared in such a beautiful form as Krishna. Jai Ram, Jai Ram. He told for them. And then he looked at us and he said, be careful. He said, Ram is so powerful, so strong, so beautiful, charming and heroic. Immediately your heart will want to run to him. So you should be careful. If you ever see any deity or any picture of Ram, you should say, Oh Krishna, you have appeared in such a beautiful form as Ram. Jai Krishna, Jai Krishna. He was teaching us how to be one-pointed toward our Ishtadevs. For them, he said it like this, but he also told, and I remember telling, as you're progressing, at some point, at some stage, it will be arranged that you will take further instruction by anyone who is exclusively of that particular nature. So any Shiksha Guru or even any future life Diksha Guru will manifest to fully nourish their bhav in relation with their Ishtadev, Sri Ram. So this is all arranged according to Krishna, according to providence, like we've seen with Gop Kumar. How did Gop Kumar meet with so many different gurus? He was progressing gradually, but so many came and different manifestations of guru, same wine, new bottle, but manifested and gradually brought him toward his perfection, which was Sakya Bhav in transcendental Vrindavan, friendship mood with Krishna. But he was there in Vaikuntha, he was there in Ayodhya, he was there in Dwaraka, he was also in the heavenly planets, he was in the Brahma Jyoti, he was the king of Jagannath Puri, he was Lord Brahma, he went through everything, so many different layers and stages. But because of the power of his mantra, which he continued to chant regularly on the order of his guru, it was resonating within his Atma. That was able to continue to pull him forward. Nothing else was fully satisfactory to him until he attained that final destination, the maturity of his soul's necessity. And that was Sakya Bhav for Gop Kumar. So, it may be that Srila Gurudev has met with these personalities, but after some time, we know what Gurudev's focus and concentration is. After some time, they will meet with someone who's more like Hanuman, in that full one-pointed focus. Srila Gurudev is not in one-pointed focus of Sri Ram, although he's well aware of all of those pastimes and weeps profusely while remembering these pastimes. Still, his one-pointed focus is Radha Vinod Bihari, leaning very heavily towards Srimati Radhika. This is his one-pointed focus. So any other personality will manifest for them to be able to progress to their perfection. And this will all be arranged by the Lord. In fact, Srila Gurudev said, even if we don't know any better, even if we're just trapped on some island somewhere, desert island, and we've never seen or heard about God or anything, and we simply pick up a straw, and we just don't know, we just need to connect, and we start praying to that. This is also the energy of the Lord. He's present within every particle of all existence. He's inside and outside of everything. There's nothing which is independent from him. Not one electron or quark moves without his sanction. Not just a blade of grass. Even that, the microscopic particles, those that are even too small for a microscope to see, even those do not move without his sanction. So he's able to hear any sincere prayer. The Supreme Lord can hear any sincere prayer. So Gurudev said, if you pick up that straw even, and you pray, if there is something, I want to know the truth, please help me, help me. He said, even through that medium, the Lord can hear, and he will arrange the necessary associations so that you can progress. This is all on that level. What is going on now in our lives? This has been arranged for now. But our Gurudev has given a very direct indication. He said, for most of you, 99%, he said, or more, who are coming to this path, in this line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami, you have been attracted to this line of Rupa Goswami because of your inherency. For most. He said maybe one or two might be like Ram Bhakta, like this. But for most, it is because you have this intrinsic mood to be a maidservant of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. He said, otherwise you would naturally go to any other sampradaya, he said. But you have been attracted here, hearing these conceptions, the teachings and the moods of Rupa Goswami and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, about Vrindavan and the pastimes of Vrindavan. He said, the fact that you have been attracted to this, 99.9%, is because you have this intrinsic mood within you. Maybe one or two might have something else. He told that in many times, but I specifically remember in Paderborn in Germany. Also, Srila Gaur Govinda Mahārāja explains that our business is to weep and to pray, to cry for mercy. And the rest is the business of Guru and Krishna. If we are sincere, then they will send the necessary association, and it will manifest before us spontaneously and miraculously. If we are sincere, we cannot limit the capacity of Krishna to help any jiva, especially if that jiva is really sincerely seeking Krishna. Two things are happening at the same time. Search for Sri Krishna, reality the beautiful, and, from his side, the loving search for the lost servant. These two things are happening at the same time. So Krishna keeps sending those who can help us to progress, because he knows that that's the only thing that's going to really make us happy forever. And if we begin searching and wanting to love and serve Krishna, he will make arrangements for us to be able to progress along that path, according to whatever our nature is. So no need to worry about what our eternal swarup is, just have to worry about how we can better serve our Srila Gurudev. Yes and no. How to better serve our Srila Gurudev? He put so much emphasis on greed. Tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam. The root qualification for the attainment of Krishna Bhakti Rasa is the intense greedy desire to have it. But you cannot have greed unless you have a goal. So Gurudev wanted to awaken or establish this goal so that we would have this drive to attain it. Otherwise, it becomes too general. Yes, serving the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, this is essential first and foremost. But how do we serve and please Gurudev? We follow his instructions. We follow the path of bhajan, sadhana that he has given us so that we can attain to our goal. He doesn't want to keep us exclusively at his feet. He wants to engage us in our eternal service to Shri Radha and Krishna. Gurudev is not Vishai Bhagavan. He's not the Vishai. He's Ashray Tattva. So the final resting place of our service is not Gurudev. He passes it on. The final resting place of our service is not even Srimati Radhika, because she doesn't have anything to keep for herself. Everything goes ultimately to Vishai Bhagavan, Shri Krishna. Even Srimati Radhika, whatever we give to her, she gives there. But still, fidelity to the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, what does that mean? What does he want? Loyalty, Guru Nishta. But what is this loyalty? This means, Gurudev, make me yours and make me like you. So what is he telling us to do? Chant and remember the sweet pastimes of Krishna. Okay. So now he's told me to do it. In this connection, I'm remembering something I asked him. And I've shared it before, but some of you may be new. New, meaning you didn't hear it before. I asked him, according to Shastra, just by chanting the names Nitai Gauranga, one can attain prem. And there's no conception of aparad or making offenses in chanting the names Nitai Gauranga. But in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there's so much conception or possibility for making offense. And the result of that is also prem. So why don't we just chant Nitai Gauranga? Why do we also chant Mahamantra? And he just looked at me very straight and stern. He said, because Mahaprabhu wants you to. And I thought, that makes sense. As you're calling out for the mercy of Mahaprabhu, Nitai Gauranga, Gaurahe, Gaurahe, Gaurahe. Mahaprabhu manifests to you. Yes, I'm here. What do you want? I want your mercy. My mercy. Yes, your mercy. Chant and remember the sweet pastimes of Krishna. So Mahaprabhu wants us to chant Hare Krishna. And he wants us to do it without aparad. Nir aparad naam loilo pai premadhan. By this you will attain prem. So because Mahaprabhu is in the mood of a sadhaka, what is the sadhak's mood? Not to take anything for himself, but also to channel everything. He's experiencing the bhav, or the moods of Srimati Radhika. But he also doesn't want to take our hearts. He also wants to give it to Krishna. This is his nature as well. So he's coming in the form of Guru to instruct all to Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha, to chant the names of Krishna, to worship Krishna, and to follow the instructions of Krishna. So to please Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we must follow his instructions. To serve Gurudev means to please Gurudev, to do what he wants us to do. So this will automatically imply that we must have a goal, and our goal must be Radha Dasyam, that our drive must be there, so greed must be there for the attainment of the goal, and all of the processes of sadhana bhakti that he has given us for the attainment of that goal should be applied generously in our lives. This will be pleasing to Gurudev, and this will be service. Not only massaging the feet, not only bathing the feet. Speaking of which, one time we were waiting to bathe Srila Gurudev's feet. This was in Fiji Islands. It was a very hot day, very, very hot day, and he took 6 or 8 hours to arrive at his destination. And we were all waiting for him again and again doing kirtan. Gurudev's coming in 10 minutes. We're there for... He didn't show up. We were waiting, doing kirtan. Finally, Gurudev comes and we're so excited. Gurudev is here, Gurudev is here. We're doing kirtan. We have the bowl ready to wash his feet. All the flowers, all the paraphernalia, and we're doing kirtan. And he just walked right past all of us and went to the bathroom. We thought, okay, well, he's been in the car for a long time, so we understand. Then he will come out and we will wash his feet. But he came out in a gamsha. Now, I never heard of anybody washing the feet of Gurudev when he comes out in a gamsha. He just bypassed us all again. He just walked right past all of us. We're like, Jai Gurudeva, what's going on? And he just goes out, walks down this long hallway, opens the sliding glass door, goes outside, enters into the swimming pool, and just back and forth for a few minutes. And we're kind of doing it. Are we going to wash his feet? What's going on? We were doing kirtan. We're like, what are we supposed to do? Then when Gurudev was finished, he got out and he's walking past us. And as he was walking past, he said, your foot water is there. You can take as much as you like. We were just laughing. All the devotees just ran and jumped in with all of their clothes on, except for me and Krishna Das Prabhu. We were just standing there looking and watching the fun. We had all of our clothes on, and I had the money belt with all of the money from work and my passport. Braj Mandal Prabhu came behind us and Haribol. Anyhow, he said, your foot water is there. You can have as much as you want. So only washing the feet and doing the externals. This is not really the thing which pleases Gurudev the most. Serving his manobhishta pleases him the most. What is his manobhishta? His inner heart's desire. He doesn't need us for him to be successful in his bhajan. But he has come to us and given his very, very valuable time. His own life. Gurudev said, take my time, take my life seriously. He has given his time, his energy, and his life to awaken something within us. And that is the greed to serve Shri Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. So how do we please and serve Gurudev? Yes, by all of those external things, but that greed should increase more and more. And if he sees that you're really greedy for this, that you really want this thing, then there will be nothing that is more pleasing to the heart of Gurudev than that. Guaranteed. So, I think Jiva Pavana Prabhu answered a previous. Thank you, Sudevi.
I wish it would be consistent.
Well, if it's used at certain times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, I think you're all back. So, Sakhis may meet with Krishna personally, but the Manjaris have no desire to meet with Krishna personally. Srila Prabhupada writes it in his purport in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can say in a way like a code, but actually it's quite clear. He said, what is the definition of pure bhakti? He says it in English. To give Krishna what pleases him most. And then he says, what pleases Krishna the most? Only Srimati Radharani. So our mood is how to push Radharani to Krishna. This is the mood of the maidservants of Srimati Radhika. Raghunath Das Goswami says, Sakyayate mama namostu nityam. Again and again, I offer pranam to your position as a sakhi, as an equal, as a friend, who also meets with Krishna. And then Gurudev would add the words, but I don't want any lesser thing. Means to meet with Krishna directly, from their perspective, is considered lesser. What does Raghunath Das Goswami say? Dasyayate mama rasostu satyam. Dasyayate mama rasa astu. The only thing which I have any attraction for, the only taste, is as your maidservant. Dasyayate mama rasostu satyam. So the right answer to Gurudev on any question would be, all I know is I want to be the dasi of Srimati Radhika. This is our goal and our aspiration. That's the basic difference between the two. And also, a speciality. And I saw it practically applied in the pastimes, during Gurudev's departure pastimes in this world. Those young maidservants, they're able to serve during the very intimate Nikunja pastimes of Radha and Krishna, whereas the other Sakhis cannot be there at that time. And even then, during the most intimate pastimes, even the maidservants cannot go in, but they're able to somehow witness something. And when Srila Gurudev was in his departure Leela, I specifically remember at Govardhan. At that time, Madhav Maharaj, Brajanath, and so many other senior Vaishnavas, they would only go in for a moment here and there, but they weren't constantly serving. Who was serving? The very, very young ones, whom Gurudev almost had a grandfatherly mood toward. Even though they may have been his disciples, still they were very, very young. When any Prabhupada disciple would come, because of his respect for them, he saw them as his younger god brothers, not as his disciples. So giving that respect, Srila Gurudev would be very careful. A little bit more honor. And certain things that he maybe needed to do, he would wait until they would leave, and then he would do those things related to his own health. And so we witnessed how he was comfortable in front of the very young ones, and how he was in a different mood with some respect and equal honor and like that in front of others. And so for us, it was a little bit of a glimpse into this idea that Radharani will never meet with Krishna directly in front of Baladev Prabhu, because he's the elder brother of Krishna. An elder brother of one's paramour or husband is considered like guru. There's a respect that is given there. So she'll never meet with Krishna in front of Baladev. This is just natural. It's part of those pastimes. And also, she would feel a bit uncomfortable in front of her sakhis. So her maidservants, then she can meet with Krishna. And because they have no independent desire to meet with Krishna, then there's none of that other mood as well. So she can freely meet with Krishna at such a time. So these are some specialities. The bankers. Okay. So previously Devaki mentioned something about, I think Jiva Pavanapu was answering these questions very well. Oh, okay. So is Gurudev eternally our Gurudev when we reach our goal? This is quite an interesting question. Because even our Gurudev would say, same wine, new bottle. Means the same substance is there, but the face or the external form has changed. So how do we know? This is something that is, we can see like this. But if you're seeing Srila Prabhupada as Srila Prabhupada, for example, in this picture, this form is not going to be serving Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan. It will be a different form. Same substance, but a different form. There's a Guru Rupa Sakhi Pranam. It can be the same Gurudev. And this is something that we don't really know. What is the depth of my connection at this point? How many lifetimes have I accepted Guru in my life? We know that Gop Kumar received so many different gurus, but it was ultimately the same function. So I've heard this question asked many times to our Gurudev, and sometimes it is told like this, that yes, the same Guru will continue coming back for you again and again, but then if you understand Guru Tattva a little bit deeper, the same Guru, what is Guru? Chaitya Guru, Krishna within the heart, manifest externally to the senses of the jiva in the form of Diksha and Shiksha Gurus. So every time it was Krishna manifesting in different forms or manifesting through any other form. The principle of Guru is, in essence, Krishna, but the condensed mercy of Krishna. Not to say that we should be hopeless. We should always meditate on our Gurudev, our specific Gurudev, in Sadak Rup and in Siddharup. Seva Saraka Rupena Siddharupena Chatrahi. Serving like our Gurudev was serving in this world, in the Sadak form, and also in Siddha form, serving underneath as the servant of the servant, like that. So I cannot say specifically. It depends on the depth of progress, spiritual progress of the individual, that we will know for sure. But until that time that we actually know for sure and absolute certain, it is essential and imperative that the devotee, or the hopeful, aspiring devotee, will maintain this idea that he is my Lord birth after birth. Within this world, he will always come for me, and he is also Krishnanandaya, always serving Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan, and I also want to serve under, in that case, will not be his guidance, but her guidance in that realm, the realm of Goloka Vrindavan, transcendental Vrindavan, where those sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna are taking place. And so I cannot say, this is something that we must understand and realize through the intensity of our own bhajan, weeping and crying and chanting and praying with that kind of conviction. Then gradually we will become self-realized. We will understand who our eternal individual guide is in truth. And we will also become God-realized. We will understand the particular nature of our Ishtadev and the loving service and the relationship that we have to our Ishtadev. All of this will be realized all at the same time. I know that we are praying to be in the group of Lalita Sakhi under the guidance of Sri Rupa. But even then, there are other levels of guidance. And that is for the individual to realize and understand through Nam Bhajan. Only through that process. I have no capacity to determine. But I do know that Sri Guru is the form of the mercy and compassion of Krishna. And our Gurudev has mentioned that yes, that same Guru will come to you birth after birth. But will it be the same exact form? I don't know. I don't know. I cannot say. Whoa, not a single Prabhu. He's writing a big thing. That's actually one of the shorter things I've read from him. Dandavat Pranam Narasimha Prabhu. Yes, I've seen this before from you. He said it's his Ishtadev, but then he went on to explain that this was not his permanent Ishtadev. So for that time being, it was his Ishtadev. This is who he was worshipping at that time, but now he's progressed from there, which is proof that, and Gurudev just said it just yesterday, and we're going to continue. Oh my God, we've got 2 minutes. It is proof that that was not the eternal resting place of Satyavrata Muni. That was all in Aishvarya Bhav. Matsya Avatar, Meena Sharira, this is in Aishvarya Bhav. But now he's becoming greedy and longing for Vatsalya Prem in Braj. And then more than that, toward the Gopi Prem. So Srila Gurudev was speaking about the idea of this, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to South India, he met with the family of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and they were able to change from their position because it was not their eternal position, although for the time being, they understood that their Ishtadev was Śrīmad Nārāyaṇa, Lakshmi Nārāyaṇa. They were members of the Śrī Sampradaya, but then they were able to progress according to the nature of their soul from there toward the mood of gopis or maidservants of Srimati Radhika. Whereas Anupam and Murari Gupta were not able to be adjusted because their eternal position was as servants of Sri Ram. So in this case, Srila Gurudev said that, or wrote it, but now he's given a further vision into the transcendental progression of Śrī Satyavrata Muni. Satyavrata Muni's prayers reveal that his mood is destined to develop beyond dasya ras. And that is why this verse expresses increasing longing within his heart. Increasing longing. We can understand this situation by considering the history of Gopkumar. Even when Gopkumar had attained residence in Vaikuntha, his inner hankering was not satisfied. It was not even satisfied when he reached Ayodhya or Dwarka within Vaikuntha. For some time he felt, this is my Ishtadev, Vaikuntha Vaikuntapati Nārāyaṇa. He felt, yes, this is my Ishtadev. But then something was missing. He was not able to fully express his inner heart's necessity in relation to that particular personality. Same with Sri Ram, same with Dwarkadish. Something was still lacking. Only when he met with Krishna in Vrindavan did he find the fulfillment of his inner heart's eternal necessity. So Gurudev here says, even when he attained residence of Vaikuntha, his inner hankering was not satisfied. Not in Ayodhya, not in Dwarka. Finally, he reached Goloka Vrindavan, and when he experienced loving exchanges with Krishna in the mood of friendship, Sakya Ras, Sakya Bhav, all of his desires were at last fulfilled. His mood never went any further. Similarly, Satyavrata Muni's longing is advancing through progressive levels of bhakti. That's on page 108. It's an easy page to remember, but that's the answer to your questions there. Gurudev is reconciling it. Each sadhaka will relish the sweetness of Sri Krishna's pastimes according to his own relationship with Krishna, his own sambandha, and also according to his own qualification. Thus, so there's own relationship and own qualification. So if your qualification has not advanced enough, then you might relish a more general conception. But as you're becoming more and more qualified, your adhikar is increasing, then your relationship will become more and more clear. Then the relishment of that particular relationship with your particular Ishtadev, worshipful Lord, will be much more focused. And all other ideas will be there, but they won't be your focus. It's not that the gopis don't know about Ram and Nārayaṇa and all of the other avatars. They definitely know and they worship them and everything, but their focus is only Krishna. So, thus in the description of Sri Krishna's lotus face being kissed again and again, Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī explains that the word Gopya can refer to either Mother Yashoda or Srimati Radhika. The phenomenon of relishing Sri Krishna's pastimes according to one's own mood is illustrated in the following example. Once, upon seeing scratch marks on her son's limbs, Mother Yashoda exclaimed, "Oh, where did all these scratch marks come from?" Kundalata, who was standing nearby, heard this and commented, "Your son performs ras at night. These marks are from that." Rasalila is the prominent pastime in Madhurya Ras, conjugal love. So how could Mother Yashoda be privy to this amorous pastime? The answer is that Mother Yashoda was simply inquiring like an ordinary mother who was worried about the scratches on her son. Still, she is not necessarily unaware that her son is in fact performing Rasalila. Not directly. Vatsalya Ras assists and nourishes Madhurya Ras. Nevertheless, as soon as she heard Kundalata's reply, she at once said, "My darling boy is still breastfeeding. He doesn't even have his milk teeth. He can barely speak. He just talks in broken, childish language. But you are saying he engages in amorous affairs at night?" "My dear young lady, you do not know. I will tell you how he got these marks. When he takes the cows into the forest to graze, he loses himself in play with the other boys. Sometimes, while chasing stray calves, he runs through thorny bushes. He is so absorbed in playing at such times that he is not even aware that he is being scratched. That is where these marks come from. So, even though the idea might be told to her, in the same way that maybe the elderly Gopas might tell Nanda Baba, we think your son might be Bhagavan, he might be God. I mean, he's lifting Govardhan Hill and killing demons. And then Nanda Baba's like, interesting. Well, from my perspective, he's just a naughty boy. He's stealing butter. He's urinating on the floor. He's pinching babies and making them cry. He's dancing for laddus. Does Bhagavan do this? Does he lie and cheat? And he's like, you can believe whatever you want. As far as I'm concerned, he's my son and I must discipline him. And then they're like, yeah, you're right. And they all begin laughing, and this whole idea vaporizes in a moment. So Kundalata tells Mother Yashoda, she's like, okay, nah, impossible. Impossible. He's just a baby, breastfeeding. He hasn't grown. She just sees him according to her praying for him. And so although Vatsalya praying nourishes Madhurya Ras, how does it nourish Madhurya Ras? It creates a little bit of a tension, not attention, tension by which Krishna has to escape it. And that makes it so much more pleasurable for him. Krishna uses the cowherd boys to escape from Vatsalya Prem and the cow and the calves. And then they take him out to the pastures. And then after they all have lunch, they all get tired and fall asleep. Krishna uses that as an excuse to escape and goes to Radha Kund, where he engages in his midday pastimes with Srimati Radhika at the foot of Giriraj at Radha Kund. So, let me just read this since it needs to be there. The devotee will hanker for a particular rasa according to his own eternal mood. Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī presents Satyavrata Muni as a perfect example of this. According to his own mood, Śrī Satyavrata Muni is trying to awaken within his own heart the bhav of one of Krishna's eternal ragatmika jan by performing sadhan bhajan under their guidance. So, Srila Gurudev very expertly just answered Narasingha Prabhu's question. I could not. So now, time has come. I didn't realize it went so fast. But Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupānuga Guru Varga ki jai, Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Gurudev Jai Gurudev Jai Gurudev Gurudev Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Shri Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol Shri Gurudev Ki Jai Guru Pan Guru Varga Ki Jai Padipan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai Radha Vino Bihari Ki Jai Radha Rama Ki Jai Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Hare Ram Sankirtan Ki Jai Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Govinda Ram Govinda Ram all very much for giving us the opportunity.
1 second. He would pinch the babies to make them cry so that the parents would run to get the babies and then he could steal the milk or the butter. She's like, I've never heard this.
Oh yeah, it's in Krishna book. We heard it a lot when we were little. He would pinch the babies and make them cry or do any other kind of naughty, mischievous activities. So he was quite distracting, and then he would steal the butter. So thank you all very much for giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and Guru Varga. Also, we would like to express our deepest appreciation, gratitude, and indebtedness to each and every one of you for daily giving us the opportunity to do our Guru Seva, which is our life and soul. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
Radha
Radhe.
Vino Bihari Ju
Ki
Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shachinandana Gaura Hari
Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
And please remember to pray for Anupam, who's in a very serious condition. Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Yes, Mahaprabhu is wearing specific ornaments today.
Oh, did you show that close up? Did you notice that? Look what he has on his. It's just him.
Okay, Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.